The way towards going to the subject for the Institute has been a long one, in the sense that we started this some 6 years ago when we had signed a joint agreement with the Malta Union of Bank Employees, where together we started identifying areas where we thought Malta could head to grow further in the financial services. Since then, we are pleased that there has been quite some developments, although not as far as we wish them to be. But there have been some interesting events going on. The Institute has, over the years, annually organized a conference where we had major banks, major Islamic banks coming over, like Al Baraka Bank and Dar al Sharia, Dubai Islamic Bank, Atar Islamic Bank, and amongst others. That created, obviously, some interest in the Middle East on what's happening in this Catholic country that is promoting Islamic funds. And we did have quite some queries. We felt that some of them, we addressed them as a country correctly, and others maybe we should have been more sophisticated in the way we approached things. It has been a learning curve in itself, and here we are today also to continue gaining expertise both from our local panelists as well as our international panelists. We do have some activity of Islamic finance going on, including Islamic funds. In fact, there are applications in process. We will have to see how that industry will grow or not. Unfortunately, we have no real applications from banks, although there was interest in Malta coming from that side. As well as we had interest on Takaful, which is the Islamic insurance, but no real concrete activity. To be fair, we're talking of a subject that to Malta, if we go in its history, it's not new. If we go in financial transactions happening even 100 years ago, we will find traces of Islamic finance. The basis and foundations of the way, for example, APS Bank, which is the Catholic Church Bank, was founded, is in itself a takaful. So the original common fund where APS started was similar, it was not called Islamic finance, obviously, to the concept of Islamic finance. So in reality, we are not talking of something new to this country, and we are not talking of something new to any part of Europe, to be fair. We are just looking back on similar transactions we used to do in the past. And the three main religions support these transactions, that is both Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. The thing is that the Islamic world continued to base its financial transaction on these values, whilst Christianity and Judaism moved away from those values and accepted principles that in the Islamic world were not accepted. Having said that, we are not promoting a religion, we are promoting a method of finance. Okay? To the extent that if one goes to read publications by the Vatican itself, the Vatican and its newspapers, it actually encourages Islamic finance. So I'm saying this to move away from the connotations that Islam may bring with it in certain minds. So we are promoting a method of finance familiar already to Malta. Lately, we have seen a couple of transactions on a national level that are similar to Islamic finance in itself. One of them was the Malata Investments, the company recently formed by the government for the investment in the parliament and the city gate. The main concept of that is very similar to the sukuk, what is called sukuk ijara. Sukuk are funds in itself. I won't go into the detail of that transaction. Another similar thing was done by APS with the launch of their ethical fund. So if one reads the investment strategy and the investment policies and tactics of that fund, they are basically very similar to Islamic funds. So yes, we are heading towards having more similarities to this industry, but we feel that there's much more we can do to attract more investments in this sector. Particularly where we have the tools. We have the tools similar to our competitors in Luxembourg and Ireland. Luxembourg is flourishing with Islamic funds, Ireland not as much, but Malta has still a way ahead to go.